you ever felt powerless? Have you ever felt helpless? Have you been in situations where you weren't in control? Safety is a primal human need. I think we're all here to thrive and to shine, but how can you do that if you don't feel safe? How can you get what you want? How can you be who you want to be? How can you really be happy if you don't feel safe? If you don't really have control over that aspect of your life? You know, to a lot of people, self-defense is about fear. To me, it's not. It's the opposite. The FemPowerment Accelerator, or learning self-defense, or how to be and feel safe, is about freedom and control. To do what you want, to be who you want to be, to trust and express yourself, because you know how to look after yourself. Now, do you really need to learn how to fight to be able to defend yourself? What if you're unfit, too old, too weak, too small? I had a martial arts school for 20 years, and I do teach fighting techniques in my program as well. But to rely on that, just to be safe, is for most people completely unrealistic. Just talk to someone who's done a self-defense course maybe a few years ago, maybe you have, and ask them how much they still know, how much they can still apply. Probably not that much. So what does that mean? Would you have to train for the rest of your life to prepare for a situation that you don't want to experience? Doesn't make sense. The reality is that the majority of women can't really do that much with the fighting techniques. And if you focus on that, you'll always fight an uphill battle. Even if you're really good now, you'll get older, you'll get weaker eventually. But it's much simpler than that. You do have a lot of power, but it's not there. You have to think about this differently. Everybody wants to know some special technique that'll give them the power to defend themselves. But I'll put it to you that you already know at least one very effective self-defense technique. You know where to kick a man, where it hurts tremendously, and it's not that hard to do. But it's not about the technique. The question is if you can pull it off. The main problem is not a lack of fighting techniques, but a lack of understanding. People don't know how to deal with these situations. You fear what you don't know. But people don't know if they should turn around if someone's behind them, if they should say something or not, if it's better to be loud or quiet. I'll give you an example of why people are so confused about this. Now, most parents taught their kids not to trust strangers. But why? Most strangers are actually nice people, or at least not dangerous. So now these kids are learning not to trust people for no particular reason, without any context. But now imagine you were a little kid and you were out with your parents and they bumped into someone who they knew but you didn't, and you did what your parents taught you. You didn't really trust them. You were a little shy. Maybe you were hiding behind your dad's leg. And then your dad says to you, "Hey, what are you doing?" Say hi to them, man. Be nice. Can you see how confusing that is? And now these kids are growing up and they don't know what to do. In reality, to feel and be safe requires something different. It requires a level of determination to protect yourself, because you have every right in the world to do that. It requires that you trust your feelings about people and situations and act accordingly. It requires a level of confidence and assertiveness, because that determines how you deal with the self-defense situation. If you can recognize it, if you can diffuse it, it also determines if you can pull off the fighting techniques that you've learned. And it makes it much less likely that you get into those situations. And that's what you want, isn't it? The FemPowerment Accelerator is about taking control of the relationships that you have, dangerous or not, be it at home, at work, in your social life, or in society. Now, we want to make sure that you've implemented and embodied everything that you've learned, that it sticks. Virtually everything you do out of habit. So it takes a little while to change that. So we want to keep you in the program for as long as it takes for you to become the person you need to be and you want to be. For as long as it takes for you to step into your power. The goal of this program is that you never worry about self-defense again. Not because nothing could ever happen, but because you know you can handle yourself and you know what to do. And with that comes a new level of determination, assertiveness, and confidence in everything you do. This is about control and freedom. If that interests you, then book a call and we'll have a chat.